Hello everyone, thank you for joining my YouTube channel. In this video you'll be learning some of the likely questions you will be asked in your project or your research defense or your thesis defense. Study these questions and how you should answer the questions. The first question that you might likely be asked is, why did you choose this topic? In order to answer this question, talk about the motivation for the study. You need to also talk about the research problem you wanted to address, which made you to embark in this study. And you need to talk, or in addition, in answering this question, you also need to mention your interest. And the second question that you might likely be asked is, briefly explain what your project is all about. In order to answer this question, it also sounds like, are you able to tell us in few sentences what your study is all about? The key answer to this question is being able to understand and state your research's abstract orally. The third thesis defense question that you might likely be asked is, what is the scope of your study? In order to answer this question, you have to understand that the scope of your study has to do with the delimitation of your study. And we have the geographic scope, we have the thematic scope, and we have the periodic scope. Now let's move on to the fourth research question that you might likely be asked, and which is, what is the significance of your study? In order for you to answer this question, you need to explain how your study is going to help other researchers, how is it going to help organizations, how is your study going to contribute to knowledge of practitioners, how is it going to contribute to new knowledge, and how is it going to help educators. So the fifth question is, what are your research variables? And you need to memorize and work carefully with your variables. You also need to explain the independent and dependent variables. So you should be able to tell the members of your panel your research is variable. And the sixth question is, what research methodology did you use? We understand that we have two different types of research methodology, that is a quantitative research and we have the qualitative research, and both of them have different types. So you have to briefly state the research design, and you need to talk about the data collection method. So you should be able to explain the research methodology you have used in your work. And the question that followed to the previous one is, why did you use this research methodology? Here you have to talk about the justification and the reasons for using the research methodology. Talk about the reasons why you have used that particular research methodology. And the eighth question is, what are the limitations you encountered? Obviously, you will not tell them that you experience limitations of getting articles, journal articles, or getting materials. You use simple limitations like difficulties involved in combining lectures and project rather than limiting your study, because it is a very tricky and a very technical question. The number 9 question is, what source of the data did you employ for your research? We obviously have secondary and primary sources of data, and secondary source of data has to do with books. It also has to do with, primary sources of data has to do with books, meanwhile secondary data has to do with journal articles, internet sources, thesis. Also, you need to simply, in order for you to answer this question, you need to simply state the nature and the type of data you have used in your work. And the number 10th question is, what areas will you suggest for future research? Obviously, when you carry out your research, you need to have some other areas, some other gaps that you have identified, and you give suggestion for future research that is in line with your study. And the last question is, how will you relate your findings to the existing theories of the study? Before you are able to answer this question, you should understand your theories. If you understand your theories, you'll be able to relate your findings to your theories. We have come to the end of our video. Thank you so much, and please, if you like my YouTube channel and if you like my videos, please subscribe, and please turn on the notification button so that when we upload any video, you will be notified. Thank you so much.